What if the most powerful medicine you've ever needed wasn't locked behind a pharmacy counter, a prescription pad, or a $60 wellness supplement, but was growing right outside your back door? What if the plants that humans have been healing themselves with for thousands of years were not lost, not rare, not hidden in some remote rainforest, but sitting quietly in your garden, your neighbor's yard, or along the path you walk every single morning? Here's something almost nobody talks about. Five of the most common garden plants on the planet have been used as serious, documented medicine for centuries. Romans used them. Traditional healers built entire remedies around them. And most of us, we've been pulling them out as weeds. Today we're going to change that. Stay with me, because number one has been proven to fight inflammation, and it's probably growing within 10 feet of where you're sitting right now. Today we're counting down 5 common garden plants that most people completely overlook. Plants you've likely seen hundreds of times, maybe even removed from your garden without a second thought. But each one on this list has a documented medicinal history that goes back centuries, and in some cases, thousands of years. We're not talking about exotic herbs flown in from the Himalayas. We're not talking about expensive tinctures from a health food store that costs more than your weekly grocery run. We're talking about plants that are already there, in your garden, your local park, your front lawn, quietly carrying medicinal properties that modern science is only now beginning to catch up with. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which 5 plants they are, what each one is used for, how our ancestors actually used them, and, most importantly, why you should think twice before ever pulling one out of the ground again. We'll go through each plant using the same simple breakdown: what it is, what it does, the surprising science behind it, and how to actually use it at home. Stick around, because the plant we're revealing at number 1 has been used to treat conditions that people today spend hundreds of dollars trying to manage. It's common, it's free, and it's probably already growing in your garden right now. Let's get into it. Plant number 5, dandelion. Most people's first instinct when they see a dandelion is to pull it out. It's a weed. It's invasive. It ruins a tidy lawn. But here's what those people don't know. Dandelion has been used as medicine in Chinese, Arabic, and Native American traditions for over 1,000 years. Every single part of this plant is usable: the roots, the leaves, the flowers. And what's remarkable is that the root alone contains inulin, a prebiotic fiber that feeds the good bacteria in your gut. Traditional herbalists use dandelion roots specifically as a liver tonic, helping the body process and eliminate waste more efficiently. Here's the flip most people never hear. Dandelion leaf has more vitamin A than carrots, more calcium than milk, and more iron than spinach. Gram for gram, this so-called weed is more nutritionally dense than most vegetables you'd pay $4 for at a supermarket. How to use it? Young dandelion leaves can go straight into salads. The root, dried and roasted, makes a coffee substitute that's been used for liver support for centuries. The flowers can be steeped into a simple tea. Next time you see one in your garden, don't pull it, pick it. From the humble dandelion, we move to a plant so common it carpets entire lawns and carries one of nature's most underrated wound healers inside every leaf. Plant number 4, plantain, not the banana, not the tropical fruit. We're talking about Plantago major, that low-growing, oval-leafed plant with distinctive parallel veins that shows up in almost every lawn, footpath, and garden bed on the planet. You've stepped on it thousands of times without knowing its name. Plantain has been called the mother of herbs in Anglo-Saxon tradition. It was one of 9 sacred herbs recorded in a 10th century English manuscript. Soldiers used it on battlefields. Herbalists carried it for everything from insect stings to infected wounds. Here's why it actually works. Plantain leaves contain a compound called aucubin, a natural anti-inflammatory, alongside allantoin, which actively promotes cell regeneration. Modern research has confirmed both. This isn't folk superstition. This is biochemistry hiding in your backyard. The most immediate use? Crush a fresh leaf between your fingers and press it directly onto a bee sting, a mosquito bite, or a minor cut. The itch and inflammation begin to ease within minutes. Herbalists call this a spit poultice. Simple, fast, and it costs nothing. Plantain leaves can also be dried and brewed into a tea used traditionally for soothing respiratory irritation and calming a persistent cough. From a plant that heals the outside of the body, we're moving to one that has been used for centuries to heal the inside. And it's one you almost certainly have growing in a shaded corner of your garden right now. Plant number 3, lemon balm. Lemon balm, Melissa officinalis, looks like a modest, slightly raggedy mint plant. It spreads quickly, it smells wonderful when you brush against it, and most gardeners treat it as a pleasant but unremarkable ground cover. What they're missing is a plant with one of the longest medicinal track records in European herbal history. Lemon balm has been in documented use since at least the Middle Ages. Carmelite nuns in 14th century France produced a famous remedy called Carmelite water, a distilled lemon balm tonic used for headaches, nerve complaints, and what we would today call anxiety. Here's the real story. Lemon balm contains rosmarinic acid, in which acts on the same neurological pathways as anti-anxiety compounds. Multiple clinical studies have shown measurable reductions in stress, anxiety, and sleep disturbance in people who took standardized lemon balm extract. This is an anecdote. These are peer-reviewed trials. How to use it? The simplest method is a fresh leaf tea. Steep 6 to 8 fresh leaves in hot water for 10 minutes. Drink it in the evening. Traditional herbalists prescribed it specifically for nervous tension, restlessness, and difficulty sleeping, all conditions that modern life has made extraordinarily common. It also grows aggressively, survives neglect, and practically plants itself. There is almost no reason not to have it. Stay with me, because the plant coming up at number 1 has been used medicinally on every inhabited continent on Earth, and the science behind it is genuinely remarkable. Plant number 2, Calendula. Calendula, those cheerful orange and yellow flowers that fill cottage gardens and border beds every summer. Gardeners grow them for color, but apothecaries grew them for centuries for something else entirely. Calendula officinalis has one of the most well-documented topical healing histories of any plant in Western herbal medicine. It's been used continuously since at least the 12th century by medieval monks in monastery gardens, by field medics in both world wars, and today by cosmetic and pharmaceutical manufacturers who put it in everything from baby creams to wound dressings. Here's why. Calendula flowers contain a dense concentration of flavonoids and triterpenoids, compounds with proven anti-inflammatory, antifungal, and wound-healing properties. These studies have shown calendula extract to be effective in accelerating skin repair, reducing dermatitis, and calming inflamed tissue. How to use it at home. Dry the flower heads completely, then infuse them in a carrier oil. Coconut or olive both work well, for 3 to 4 weeks in a warm, sunny spot. Strain the oil and apply it directly to dry skin, minor burns, eczema flare-ups, or any area of inflammation. This is the same base used in professional herbal salves, and you can make it yourself for almost nothing. Calendula is easy to grow, prolific, and self-seeds freely. Plant it once and it may never leave your garden, which as it turns out is exactly what you want. From a flower worn on the outside of the body, we arrive at number 1, a plant so ordinary, so overlooked, So aggressively common that you've almost certainly tried to get rid of it at least once. That was a mistake. Before we get to plant number one, and we are almost there, I want to pause for just a moment because I think it's worth saying something about what you've just heard. 5 plants, all common, all free, all growing in gardens, lawns, and footpaths within walking distance of almost every person watching this video right now. Dandelion, written off as a weed, quietly carrying more nutrition than most supermarket vegetables and centuries of documented liver support. Plantain was stepped on daily, used on battlefields for wound healing, backed by modern biochemistry. Lemon balm, mistaken for an unremarkable ground cover, with clinical trials confirming its effect on anxiety and sleep. Calendula, grown for color, used by monks, medics, and now pharmaceutical manufacturers for its proven skin-healing compounds. 4 plants, each one hiding in plain sight. And number one? Number one has been used medicinally on every inhabited continent on Earth. It has a clinical trial record in European licensed medicine. It has been healing fractures, sprains, and deep tissue injuries for over 2,000 years. And the name most gardeners know it by tells you exactly what it does, if you know how to listen. We are 30 seconds away from it. But here's the question I want you sitting with as we get there. How many of these plants do you already have in your garden right now and didn't know what you were looking at? Stay with me. Number one is worth it. Plant number one, Comfrey, Symphytum officinale, is a large, rough-leaved plant with small bell-shaped flowers that grows in dense clumps, spreads readily, and is often considered a nuisance. Gardeners hack it back, allotment holders curse it, and for centuries before that, healers called it knitbone. That name tells you everything. Comfrey has been used to accelerate the healing of fractures, sprains, and deep tissue injuries since ancient Greece. Herbalists across Europe, Russia, and the Middle East applied it to broken bones, torn ligaments, and bruised joints. The reason it works has now been identified. Comfrey contains allantoin, the same compound found in plantain, at extraordinarily high concentrations. Allantoin stimulates cell proliferation. It literally speeds up the rate at which your body builds new tissue. Clinical trials conducted in Germany, where Comfrey root extract is approved as a licensed medicine, have confirmed significant reductions in pain and swelling in acute musculoskeletal injuries, outperforming some over-the-counter anti-inflammatory creams in direct comparisons. How to use it? Comfrey is used externally only. Make a simple poultice from fresh or dried leaves, applied to bruises, sprains, or inflamed joints. Alternatively, infuse the leaves or root into oil the same way you would calendula and apply it to sore or injured areas. This plant is powerful, it's free, it grows almost anywhere with minimal care, and it has been healing people for over 2,000 years. You've probably walked past it more times than you can count. 5 plants: dandelion, plantain, lemon balm, calendula, comfrey. None of them rare, none of them expensive, none of them difficult to grow, find, or use. And yet collectively, they represent thousands of years of documented human healing across cultures, across continents, across centuries of accumulated wisdom that modern life nearly buried under a bag of chemical weed killer. Here's what I want you to take away from this. Nature didn't stop being medicinal just because we stopped paying attention. These plants didn't lose their properties when we stopped teaching their names. The knowledge simply went quiet, passed over in favor of convenience, cost, and the assumption that healing has to come in a box with a barcode on it. It doesn't. The most powerful pharmacy many of us will ever have access to is already growing outside. It asks for almost nothing. It costs almost nothing. And it has been working for a very long time. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 5 plants do you already have growing in your garden? And which one surprised you the most? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. If this video opened your eyes to something you didn't know was right in front of you, hit the like button. It helps more people find this information. And if you want more content like this, subscribe and stay close. We're just getting started. This is Green Discover, signing off. Go check your garden.